Alright, I've been playing with the OffSpark and the EndSpark. Those are two new styles I put out earlier. They work without color change, and I'll talk about color change in a little bit. I'm sure everybody's eager. But I wanted to show these because I've had a little more time to play with them, so I've kind of massaged them. So all the sparks, so OnSpark already existed, but OffSpark and EndSpark, they're kind of what I think of as accents to the visual effects that you put together. So when you have a style, you can take a basic style and just add those sparks in, and it actually just takes it to another level. So this is real quick, just my normal Vader, normal ignition, normal localized lockup, normal retraction. So now that exact same style, I've added an OnSpark with a hump flicker, and that's what I also use in my power-up style. So if you've used my power-up styles, you're familiar with that. I've also now added the EndSpark, and this is a localized EndSpark. So localized lockup, I created a localized EndSpark, and what that is when you let go of lockup, you'll see a fade-out effect, almost like the blade kind of restoring itself. And then also added the OffSpark. So this is the exact same style, but now with the three sparks as accents. So that's your power-up effect, your OnSpark, localized lockup, but then when I let go, you'll see it fades back in, and then lastly the EndSpark, or I'm sorry, the OffSpark. So OnSpark is on ignition, EndSpark is when you end a lockup, OffSpark is when you retract the blade. So one more time, OnSpark, and it's just a little accent, just to kind of make the blade unique. Localized lockup, and then you'll see the cool off there, so that's the EndSpark, and then lastly the OffSpark. So those are available now. There was a style file you had to replace for OnSpark that made the two new ones available, but those are available. But I've just been playing with them. That localized EndSpark, if anybody wants that, I'll put that code up. It's similar to localized lockup, it's just used for a different purpose. And then I've also... So everybody's asking, obviously, about color change. So color change, the style is actually done. We've been testing it, playing around with it. You might have seen a few things from some of the people playing with it. Where it is now is Matt, SA22C. He's doing a lot to make it more user-friendly. So this is kind of my first foray into modding. I haven't done a fork before. And I made it so it did what I wanted to do. But in some, for somebody who's new or somebody who doesn't do the styles quite like I do, Matt's going to make it a lot more user-friendly. He's also adding a lot of features. So he's adding the one-button controls. He's adding lots of other controls and all that. So that's where we're at. He's got a lot to do. Obviously, we do this in our free time. So it is moving. He's doing a lot with it. And when you guys get a hold of it, you'll be really happy with it. So it's been great working with him, but just be patient. But I wanted to show this. So I kind of posted about this earlier, but the origin of the color change actually comes just from me wanting to be able to do this very thing, and then it kind of snowballed out. So I'll show this quick. So a lot of you probably have already seen my Pull to the Darkness style. It's a style I actually designed a while ago. It's meant to be for Ben Solo, being pulled into the darkness to become Kylo Ren. The original Pull to the Darkness style just used a color cycle, so it was on a timer. So you turn your blade on, and then after a little time it would start fading to red. The reason I wanted to be able to do this was so I could do this on the fly. So this is kind of like the starting point to the color change that's coming. So now this is using color change fade with a very long transition time. But this now lets me do Pull to the Darkness whenever I want, which was really what I was going after to start off with. So now, using the color change fade, I'll be able to take from Ben Solo the Pull into the Darkness to an unstable red. And you could do that before color change, but you can only do it once. Now, or with a color cycle, you could do that once. Now, with color change, I can do it as many times as I want. So back to blue. So should Kylo Ren get redeemed, I can change my blade black. And then also this has, because with the way color change works, it's got two different localized lockups. So when it's in the blue mode, the localized lockup it washes out a little, but it's going to have a red cross section. so that obviously if he was fighting someone with a red saber, or say maybe a new red staff saber that folds. And then when I go into the red unstable, and that transition time you guys can set. So I set it long because I like that slow fade. But then once it's in red, I get a blue cross section in Localized Lockup. So that's part of the nice thing about the color change, is that it's not one effect. You can change the colors everywhere. But this is something that, this is actually kind of like the muse, I guess I will, to get to color change, was just to be able to do this. So now that I've got it where I want, I'm obviously happy. But we've got a lot more to come. But I just wanted to share this stuff because I'm just like you guys. I'm waiting to get the new thing out to everybody. So thanks, enjoy.